In today's Take a Day, I want to talk about Magic Johnson and his comments on LeBron James entering this upcoming season. But before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. Now, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Magic Johnson is one of those great players that I think a lot of people, look up to. And he was one of the greatest players that ever played this game of basketball. And he was definitely Showtime, definitely box office, definitely one of those players a lot of people will always respect and look at as a mogul and a public figure. And I didn't grow up in his time, but I watched a lot of his highlights. And I have to say I was impressed with a lot of things he was doing, especially his passing ability. But his comments about LeBron James in regards to LeBron being on a mission, LeBron is 100% ready to go. And the also, before I get into the other comment that he made, okay, I understand that Magic is always going to be in Lakerland mode. That's where he's from. That it's almost like it's where he was born, in Lakerland. So, I understand he's always going to push for the Lakers to that side and always push for, anything Lakers, even though he's not technically a part of the organization like, as he once was. But he's always going to make references towards that team because that's his team, of course. But to say LeBron's on a mission, to say LeBron's 100% and he's driven, well, isn't LeBron that every year? LeBron is those things every season, whether he's on the Lakers, whether he was on the Miami Heat, whether he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was that every season. So to say that LeBron is 100% motivated and ready to go and make a statement and, do all these other things, I mean, that's just typical LeBron James. That's not something that we don't already know. And that's not something that we really ever should look at and be like in awe of, because we know that's who LeBron James is, whether he's wearing a Lakers jersey or any other jersey in the NBA that he's worn when he's played. So to me, that's not really a big factor. The part of where Magic Johnson made his comments was that really caught my eye was when he said the NBA should be on notice. And you can check it out here, right? This part here, I'm going to show you. Yeah, the NBA should be worried because LeBron is on a quest basically for his fifth ring, wanting to get his fifth ring, and he wants to win. And LeBron is on a mission, so the NBA should be worried. That's the part that stuck out to me the most because, first of all, like I said, we all know who LeBron is. We all know LeBron wants to win championships. We all know this. He's been putting it out there for years, and his gameplay has spoke for itself as well. But my thing is, I don't think Magic Johnson should hype this team up and LeBron up so much, because even though LeBron's on a mission, even though LeBron's working out as he always does, even though LeBron's trying to get this team and the crew and everything going, LeBron's the same LeBron he's always been. And the only problem now is, Magic, LeBron's a lot older. So, of course, he's on the quest for his fifth ring. But I don't think the NBA should be in fear of what LeBron James is going to do because he's on a quest for his fifth ring. No, the great players in the NBA, they don't fear LeBron James because they have a good enough chance of winning championship just as much as he does. You think Kevin Durant is worried about LeBron James? Do you think Kawhi Leonard is really worried about LeBron James? If he comes back healthy and playing at a high level, nobody should be concerned about LeBron James. No, the main concern for the Lakers is the team that's surrounded around him. We know LeBron's going to be LeBron, and if he has any gas left in the tank, he'll be great. But if he plays like he did last year, wasn't he motivated last year? Are you telling me LeBron didn't want his fifth ring last year if he could have got it? Don't give me that. He's the same player he's always been. He's always motivated to get another ring. He's always motivated to get a championship. He's always working out. He's always trying to keep himself 100%. He's always on a mission. So that's not something that us as fans really should take to heart. But when you say the NBA should be concerned because he's on a mission, you're putting other teams in the NBA on notice, as in like this is the team to fear. Nobody fears the Lakers, Magic. Nobody fears the Lakers. The Lakers are a good team. I mean, media day, they took a good photo. They look, great together in regards to taking a photo shoot, but we got to see how they look on the court, because me personally, I'm not sure if this team is going to gel the way a lot of Laker fans think that they will. I mean, with Russell Westbrook, operation can go up or it can go down. It doesn't do nothing else. It can do either or. And to me, if you ask me, the last several operations Russell Westbrook has been a part of have all went one way, which is down. And they never rose up to the capability that we as fans thought they could, because Russell Westbrook is a superstar. So to me, when you're putting a player like Russell Westbrook into a lineup with LeBron James, remember, LeBron James has always been a hard person to play with over a long period of time, which is the reason why he never really kept another superstar with him a long period of time in his career, is because his expectations are really high. And the moment Westbrook starts like messing up and making mistakes, that's when LeBron is going to step in and probably say something. Now, hopefully, like I said, Westbrook will play better. Westbrook will understand the game better, play from a different perspective than what he has played years prior before coming to the Lakers. Hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he can play to that level, but you just don't know. And you just don't know how this lineup's going to work. You don't know what you're going to get out of Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony looks all right in the Lakers jersey, but is he going to play up to the level of what he should? Because Carmelo Anthony gets trigger happy. He takes a lot of shots, and when he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold. And that's always been pretty much the norm of his career. Like he's big time. He's always been a superstar, and he's never shy to shoot. And that's the problem with Carmelo. He never knew how to pass the damn ball. He only knew how to shoot the ball, which is the reason why he's never won anything or gotten nowhere in the playoffs most of his career. So now that's a player there that you have to account for, that's going to take a decent amount of shots that might be ill-advised or not high percentage shots. Then you got LeBron James going over to the 4 and Anthony Davis at the 5, which they're trying to sacrifice just to make Russell Westbrook happy, to get him in the lineup, to get the best out of him, which that might penetrate, their game to a negative standpoint, because to me, LeBron James needs to be the point forward, he needs to be the man with the ball in his hands, not Russell Westbrook. But I understand that because, hey, that's what they choose to do, whatever. But this is my point. Don't make it seem like the Lakers are on a mission that no other team isn't on. The Clippers are on a mission. The Nets are on a mission. The Phoenix Suns are on a mission. I mean, you can name any team. The Bucks are on a mission. Everybody wants to win another title. So don't make it seem like because LeBron is motivated and showing videos of him working out and, showing his six pack, he's more motivated than every other player in the NBA, and every other team should be worried. No, teams should not be worried about a guy who's aging. Teams should not be worried about a guy who was up 2-1 against the Suns last season in the postseason and couldn't get it done because he's older now. Teams should worry about the team, the Lakers, and what they're going to present as a team, not what LeBron James is going to do, because LeBron is going to be LeBron. The problem or the question is, will Russell Westbrook, will Carmelo Anthony, will those other role players play their role to a high level to make this team a championship team? Or is everybody speaking too soon for the Lakers? That's what teams should be looking at when it comes to the Lakers. And personally, I don't even think teams are even really worried about the Lakers, because if you ask anybody on the Brooklyn Nets, if all of them are healthy and come into the season playing with no vaccination, all that stuff, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets are even worried about the Lakers. Because first of all, the Lakers just don't have enough to beat Brooklyn Nets in their mind. They don't have enough firepower. Carmelo Anthony's good, but he's not a superstar like he used to be. He's a role player. Westbrook is good, but like I said, he's horrible in the playoffs. He's a terrible three-point shooter. LeBron's not the best three-point shooter. Anthony Davis is a pretty good player, but he's injury prone. And when Anthony Davis is healthy, he's good. But when is that? Is that consistent? No. The only reason why he was healthy in the bubble was because they had 4 months off before that. And that gave him time to rest before he went into a bubble and actually helped the Lakers win a championship with LeBron James. Well, if everybody got 4 months off every season, they'd probably be healthy too. So this is what I'm saying. You kind of can't count that until Anthony Davis shows you otherwise. Because, I mean, that's the only time I see Anthony Davis that healthy in the playoffs, from what I can remember. So, I mean, like I said, I don't think the Nets are really concerned about this team. And to be quite honest with you, I'm really not 100% sure that the Clippers would be 100% worried about this team. Because like I said, when you have older players on your team, they wear down as the season goes on. They don't get more energy. That's the reason why they're older. That's the reason why they're out of their prime, because they don't get more energy. They wear down. And if you look at the Clippers team, if they're healthy, if Kawhi comes back, well, if they actually happen to play in a 7-game series, which I would love to see, that's going to be a dogfight for the Lakers, because you're going to have to deal with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, Paul George playing with more confidence, Reggie Jackson playing with confidence, them wanting to beat you, and honestly, the Clippers have a deeper team. They might have a better bench. I mean, who on the bench of the Lakers is possibly better than Terrence Mann? Probably nobody on their bench is better than Terrence Mann. Then, they got shooters on the Clippers. And like I said, you have Nicholas Batum coming off the bench and players like that. I mean, like I said, the Clippers got a really deep team. So it's like when you play them, you're going to have to pull out all your stops to beat them. And that's my point. It's almost as if Magic is trying to say, hey, the NBA should be in fear of LeBron and the Lakers and all this stuff. But the Lakers might not even make it out the West. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't, because like I said, older players wear down as the season goes on. They get more fatigue. And honestly, from LeBron James, I don't care how much he works out or how much he exercises. He got tired in that Phoenix series in round 1. He literally did, because they could have won that series. But LeBron flailed out and flamed out because he just don't have the extra legs as he used to. And I think you're going to see more of that this season. I think you're going to see more of that in the playoffs this upcoming season when it happens, because age is just something that nobody can beat. It's one thing if you're, Tom Brady or something like that on the Bucks, because, I mean, hell, if you got an offensive line that can protect you and you can still throw the ball pretty deep, well, I guess you can continue to keep playing. But if somebody knocks Tom Brady on his ass and injures him, I guarantee he won't play till he's 50. He's saying that because he has a good offensive line and people are protecting him where he's not getting touched half the time. Well, if no quarterback or if no player, no sports player ever gets touched and can just go out there and shoot or just throw a ball, well, they could play till they're 50 years old too. But it comes more comes with that than what's being put on. And this is what I'm saying. The NBA is not fearing LeBron James because he's a lot older. And they're not fearing the Lakers because they're just a much older team. On average, the team average age on that team is 32 years old. Let that sink in. 32 years old. And I like the pieces the Lakers have. I'm not going to lie. I like Rondo back with them. Rondo definitely makes a difference with the Lakers. And he fits better with them than the Clippers. And Russell Westbrook, you got to see how he's going to turn out. But they got Dwight Howard back. That's a good piece that they won a championship with. And, LeBron and AD, of course. So, I mean, they have a really good team. I'm not going to say they don't. But, what are they going to look like as the season goes on? And how they're going to fare together is what we should be concerned about. Not being concerned about LeBron James being 100% and the NBA should be on notice. No, I don't think none of the really, really good teams are really even that worried, honestly. Because, I mean, even if the Nets didn't make it to the finals, they had to play the Bucks. That would be a dog fight if the Lakers made it to the finals. Because, like I said, who gonna stop Giannis? And then Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, both of them could, especially Drew Holiday. He is a really good defender. So somebody like Russell Westbrook, I mean, honestly, he might actually actually shut Westbrook down a couple of games, or maybe not shut him down, but slow him down enough to where, it could propel the Bucks to victory. So this is what I'm saying. I don't think nobody should be in fear of the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a good team, but fearing LeBron James, I don't see it. That's just not the way I look at it, because like I said, they're a much older team and they got a lot to prove rather than other teams having something to prove to them. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree or anything. And hey, Khaliis out.